What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the KellyCast. Mike, this is our first non-live video in a while, so as many mistakes as you want to make, you can make today.
That's fantastic because I stuttered like a mug last one, so I don't know what happened.
We are here today to bring you guys the Week 9 predictions. This is, of course, Mike Kelly. If you're new to the channel, I'm Dan Kelly. We are, I think we're Bills fans for anybody who's confused. I don't know why they would be confused.
Only on days that end in Y.
I'll have to show you the comments on TikTok so you can understand exactly what I mean. But we do have a new TikTok channel, guys. I've been doing a lot of skits over there. I think it's a lot of fun. Gives some humor to the NFL, some comedy that maybe you see elsewhere, maybe you don't. But I enjoy it. It's fun to do. So if you want, follow us on TikTok at the KellyCast. We're on Facebook at the KellyCast, and of course our YouTube channel at the KellyCast. Mike, it is Week 9.
You don't say it's at the KellyCast, would you?
I think it is.
Okay. I think we're at the KellyCast, guys.
On our set today is the KellyCast Prediction Championship, and I think it's very ugly, and I don't want it. So it's a good thing I haven't won it yet. But Mike, you're starting off Week 9 on the losing end. How does it feel?
Week 9 on the losing end. Well, I took a shot, and it's okay. They kept it close.
Did you watch the game?
I did not. I fell asleep. I completely forgot with all the.
See, I missed it. I had that long day at work, so I missed it completely. So I wasn't sure if you had a chance to see it.
Yeah, I did not get a chance to see it, but score-wise, they kept it close, and you know what? I'm not too upset.
My only question is, because I didn't get to see it, is the final score was 20-16, right? 4-point game. I want to know if the Titans had a chance to win it at the end, or if the Steelers just ran out the clock and it ended that way. That's the only thing I want to know personally.
Right.
But let's get right into Week 9, guys. Starting off with a 9:30 a.m. game tomorrow, Mike. In Germany, Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs. And what a Week 8 it was, Mike. Watching the Kansas City Chiefs lose to the Denver Broncos.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It was priceless, and probably the only time I've rooted for Russ all year.
So. Yeah, it probably will be the only time you root for Russ all year. And then what happened with Miami last week? Did they played, right? Am I blanking on what they did last week? 6-2, October 29th. Yeah, they beat the Patriots. It was the second time they beat the Patriots this year. Right. Sitting both at 6-2, this matchup really matters in terms of AFC seeding. And I am taking the Miami Dolphins this week. It's Tyreek Hill's revenge game. I can easily see Kansas City coming out and being like, hey, we are angry. We just lost. Patrick Mahomes' first ever loss to the Denver Broncos in his entire career. And I can see that. But I'm going to go with McDaniel and the Dolphins this week.
You're going to go with the Dolphins this week. That's tough, man. I mean, yeah, the Chiefs are going to come pissed.
Angry, yeah.
And I'm going to take the Chiefs because I want the Chiefs to win. I think the Dolphins might have a chance. Obviously,
now, do you want the Chiefs to win because, A, the Dolphins already beat us?
Standings, man. If
they're both at the same record, though. They're both at 6-2.
No, standings for us, for the Bills.
In the East?
In the East.
Okay, that's
fair.
So
that's why I need them to lose this game.
Okay, that's fair. I'd be okay. I'd be okay if Kansas City wins. I wouldn't be as happy if Miami won.
It's one of those.
If Miami won, Mike, you got to look at it this way. We still get a chance to play the Chiefs. So if Miami beats Kansas City, makes their record worse, and then we beat Kansas City to own the tiebreaker, depending on what happens, we can still get good seeding in terms of the playoffs. And who knows if the Bills are really going to be in the conversation, right? We have not seen great play from this team this year, really. I mean,
nope.
We will see exactly what happens. So we're starting off on an opposite foot. I love that. Let's move on to the next game, which is one of those games that I mentioned to you about these quarterback battles in Week 9. It feels like the preseason. This is Vikings at Falcons. Rookie Jaren Hall gets his first start after Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles last week, and the Atlanta Falcons bench Desmond Ridder in favor of Taylor Heineke, who will get the start this week. I also saw that Drake London, wide receiver number 1 for the Atlanta Falcons, will not play this week.
It's another one of those tough games, man, because without Kirk Cousins, that the Vikings, I feel, are going to fall to their death. They're
No
going to,
Kirk, no Jefferson,
you know,
no hope.
no Captain Kirk. I got to go Falcons, and as long as they use Bijan right this week, I got to go Falcons, man.
Headaches, man. Headaches. I don't know. The NFL
I'm
is
getting one right now.
the NFL is looking into that right now to see exactly what was going on because that's a really rare occurrence. I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings this week.
Okay.
Why? I don't know. Call it a gut feeling, Mike. Maybe if I start calling it what you call it,
only I'm allowed to have those.
maybe if I
Yours
start
don't
calling
work.
it what you call it, it'll work for me. But I have not picked the Vikings the past 2 weeks, and they've won the past 2 weeks. So I'm not picking against them again. Meanwhile, with the Falcons, I have picked them the last 2 weeks, and they've lost both games.
Well, that's why you're going to lose this week.
I know. Whatever I pick, it's going to be a loss, but that's okay. The quarterback mediocrity continues in this next one, Mike. Tyson Bagent versus Derek Carr. Bears at Saints. I don't know if you heard this during or was it Monday or Sunday that the Bears played the Chargers? It was Monday, right?
Monday night. Yeah, Monday night.
Who was it? Collinsworth, I think, or somebody said what this young kid is doing, Tyson Bagent. Justin Fields is going to have to watch it and do the exact same thing. Now, Tyson Bagent has thrown more interceptions and touchdowns and has had one win his entire career. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm taking the New Orleans Saints this week. Home team, better quarterback. The Bears suck, so give me the Saints.
Yeah, I got to take the Saints. I can't go against you on that one. I have the same sentiments.
Hopefully Olave gets going. He's on my fantasy. Rams and Packers is next. This game in Green Bay. I believe Stafford is not expected to play. Brett Rippon expected to get the start for the Rams in this matchup. Do you remember like week 3? I know your memory's bad, but you were heralding Jordan Love as the next franchise quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
Thanks for jogging my memory.
And ever since then, he has been terrible.
He got the Mike Kelly curse.
Absolutely bad. And I'm sorry, Kevin, but that's just the way it goes.
I also apologize for the curse, Kevin. I apologize.
Trade away Rasul Douglas to the Bills, which we'll get into a little bit later. So they're
definitely turned into sellers.
Weak there. This is another tough one for me. I'm going to go Green Bay, home team in this matchup. I don't know much about Brett Rippon, but I could see this going either way. Honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you and 60% of other people agree that Green Bay is gonna win this week. In the standings, I also agree that Green Bay is gonna win. Okay. Jordan Love's gonna pull one out. He can't play bad all the time.
I mean, he can.
Can't play bad all the time.
I'm surprised you're not going against me here. This seems like that classic one where it
would, but you know what, man? The Rams got blown out last week, man.
Okay.
So
that's fair. That's fair. Next up is another one, man. It's another just flip a coin in the air, call it heads, call it tails. It's Commanders and Patriots. You want to talk about sellers at the deadline, Mike? How about the Washington Commanders trading away both their starting defensive ends on either side, Montez Sweat to the Bears for a second-round pick, which, by the way, is insane. Montez Sweat is in a contract year, and they traded for him. You know what he said in his press conference? He said, I'm going to have to look at my options in terms of free agency this year.
Are you sure about that?
So you traded for him not knowing whether you're going to keep him, and you traded away a second-round pick. Wild. Chase Young sent to the 49ers for a third-round pick. Absolutely wild. That was the biggest move of the deadline by far. The Patriots suck, though. And yeah, they beat us. Whatever. I don't care. Congratulations. I'm having a hard time picking a winner here.
It's going to be a tough game. I think the odds have the Patriots winning. But I'm hoping they don't, and I wanna go on my gut here and bet on Scary Terry this week. That Patriots defense isn't. I know they killed us or kept us corralled, but
There's only one team the Commanders play good against. Only one. And it's the Philadelphia Eagles. It does not matter how good the Philadelphia Eagles are. The Washington Commanders always play good against them. And maybe that confidence has them going. What happened? So the Patriots lost to the Dolphins last week. Home game. I'm still not taking New England. I don't care. I should. I feel like I should.
I almost feel like we should.
I feel like I should, but I'm not doing it. Not this week. Not this week. Maybe if they were playing the Bears. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Scary Terry and Big Mac Daddy falls from grace.
Never say that again. Now, this, in my opinion, this next game could be the game of the week. Seattle Seahawks at Baltimore Ravens. Two teams that, you can say surprising at some because, the Seahawks, some people kind of expected the Geno Smith, what's the word I'm looking for? Downfall, I guess, for Geno. And it hasn't really happened. I mean, he's had a couple of games where he didn't look great, but overall, the Seahawks sit at a record of 5-2. The Baltimore Ravens are 6-2. This is going to be a fun one for sure.
It's going to be close. It's going to be a battle.
We said that with Baltimore and Detroit. Remember what happened?
Yeah, we did. But I think it'll be a battle. I think it'll be a close game, and I think Baltimore is going to come on top. I just trust Lamar a bit better than I do.
I don't think these teams play each other very often. Just from looking at it on the screen, AFC versus NFC matchup here. They struggled against Cleveland last week, even though Cleveland was starting P.J. Walker, and that's a note that I'm going to have to go off of. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. I want to take Seattle, I really do, but based on the way they played,
I want to root for Seattle. I mean,
I usually
AFC team.
I usually do root for Seattle, but this week I'm going to have to take Baltimore. Next up, maybe we'll have a different feeling on this one. Buccaneers and Texans, this game in Houston. Obviously, we know what happened with the Bucs last week.
Yep.
Thank goodness they lost. Houston also lost to the Carolina Panthers. Congratulations on that one. You got that one. That's one of the reasons you still hold this belt here. That's really ugly. But I'm taking the Bucs this week, Mike. I think C.J. Stroud is a rookie quarterback.
Yep.
And he has not looked like a rookie for most of this year.
Yep.
But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, those linebackers, we saw how good they played against us. I think they're going to shut down the Houston Texans offense. Give me the Bucs.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout game. I think it's going to be a blowout game.
I'm not going that far. I won't do that.
I know you
Every
don't.
time you say that.
I know, and I'm going to probably look stupid next week, but whatever. I don't care. It's going to be a blowout, but Baker Mayfield plays angry every day.
Baker Mania.
He just...
Napoleon complex.
As much as I sometimes bag on him, I mostly like as Captain Kirk, the real Captain Kirk from Star Trek. I like your moxie, kid. I like Baker's energy, man.
That's fine. Arizona Cardinals, Cleveland Browns is next in Cleveland. Deshaun might play this week, so I need to tell you that. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure yet, but it is up in the air.
Depends on what time that appointment's at.
I shared it on the page. I don't know if you saw it. I shared that he was active in practice this week, and I said, "This is great." Said no one. But the Cardinals,
especially since they've been playing better without him, anyways.
The Cardinals are starting rookie Clayton Tune this week for his first NFL game. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns. I know you're not gonna side with me here, but I'm gonna take the Cleveland Browns.
No, you know what? I might have to side with you on this one. I know I said I wasn't picking them all year. I've already done it. I've done it. What's that? What's that about?
Shame.
Oh,
shame.
Where's the bell?
I don't have a bell.
Well, that's why you confused me. I don't know what the hell that is.
It's the power of Christ. He compels you.
It compels me to go against every fiber of my being and pick the Browns because the Cardinals can't get out of their own way unless it's against the Cowboys, apparently.
That was great. I like that game. So you're going Cleveland. All right. I like it. Moving on. Colts and Panthers. This is your first of the afternoon window. I'm taking the Panthers this week, Mike. They got their first win last week. Indianapolis has Gardner Minshew starting. And I just think, this could be where Carolina gets a couple of wins. I don't think they're going to win many games this year. Obviously, they started off 0-7, 0-8, 0-7.
I think they'll win again this year. I just don't think that it's going to be against a more experienced quarterback.
Okay.
I'm not a big Uncle Rico fan. I mean, he's had his shining moments.
He's probably the best backup in the league. Honestly.
I agree.
So he's going to give you the best chance to win. So, he's like a white Tyrod.
No white Tyrod.
Not in terms of scrambling, but he takes care of the football. He gives you a chance to win. He's not going to cost you the game most times. He won't. He'll keep you in it till the very end, and he'll give you a shot. But sometimes a shot is not what you need. You need a guy to win games.
You do,
and I
which
think
is
Carolina's defense is just going to play better this week.
Right, and that's why he's a backup. So I'm still going to go Colts this week.
Giants and Raiders, 425. Aiden O'Connell versus Daniel Jones, who's supposed to be coming back from this neck injury this week. I got to pick the Giants. I mean, I cannot pick. Do you remember Aiden O'Connell a couple weeks ago when he got his first start? Khalil Mack had like 1 billion sacks. So even though they're the away team in this matchup, I have to take the Giants.
He came in one game when Garoppolo got hurt or both quarterbacks got hurt or whatever the hell happened, and I was like, oh, you don't look too bad, and then no,
he held on to the ball way too long.
Yeah, I gotta go experience over this one.
The only problem we have in this matchup picking the Giants is the Raiders, of course, fired their head coach, their GM, their offensive coordinator. They're going to be a completely different team this week.
Yep.
And not only that, when there's a new head coach in town, sometimes you play better, right? You play motivated. So I think that is a factor here for the New York Giants. Your Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Could be the most important game of the season so far for both teams. How are you feeling going into this matchup?
I don't know, because you never know what Dak you're going to get. Last week you got, decent Dak. You got
Dak, who was so bad in the first quarter, so bad, sacked multiple times. It looked like it was going bad.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden throws for like at least 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. He had a good game.
Yeah, he looked like top 10 Dak, and if we get that again, I think that they got a real shot against the Eagles. Obviously, that was proved last week that they can be beaten.
Remember, their only losses against the New York Jets.
And the Jets have been playing.
And that wasn't last week. The
football,
Eagles won last week against Washington.
Oh, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
See, that's what I get for not being around for a couple of weeks.
This is hard because I think these games are always close. It goes off of momentum. The same way that we hate momentum in Madden, these teams play with momentum against each other. It's 1 second it's Cowboys, the next second it's Eagles.
And again, a huge rivalry game. You love that rivalry.
The tush-push was stopped last week at the 1 yard line when there was a fumble by, I don't know if it was Kelsey mistiming the snap, if it was Hurts not grabbing it correctly. You wonder if that's going to affect how often they call that play.
It's the first time that it's happened, so maybe now they got a little...
It has been stopped before, but it's never been that. It's never been a fumble that has lost
so maybe
possession.
It gets in their head, right?
Maybe
it gets in their head a little bit about it.
I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they have better players at certain skill positions that the Cowboys are going to have a really hard time. But Cowboys do have Deron Bland out there, who ever since Trayvon has gone out has played really well. He's like top 3 in the league in terms of interceptions this year.
Sure has, and it's real tough for me to bet against Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Because that guy is just a monster. I watched his little NFL film thing the other day, and it brought me to tears, man. No, just kidding. He's a good human being, man. I like him. He's fast. He's just athletic. It's tough to bet against him, and I've picked the Cowboys every week, and I don't think I'm going to go against them this week.
Yeah, I'm probably
every
week.
Almost every week.
49ers you picked over them, and it worked out for you. So.
Well, I'm gonna keep my streak going then, and keep the Cowboys alive.
Going back to what you said about Micah, because the guy I always argue with you about with Micah is TJ. And TJ Watt against the Titans. Now, I know we didn't watch the game, so I need to tell you what happened here. He was going at the quarterback, going at Levis. His helmet gets knocked off. He still gets the sack, and he celebrates, and you see the veins popping out of this man's neck. And I saw Pat McAfee talking about it. He goes, TJ Watt looks like a primate. You see his veins popping out. He's just jacked. I love Pat McAfee.
I love him, man. He's so energetic.
He's great. Next up, we're going to skip the Bills and Bengals because, of course, myself and Mr. Mike will be live tomorrow. What time? 7:30 here on KellyCast on YouTube. Please come in. Check us out as we talk about the pregame show, the inactives, keys to the game, all the stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Once every week. So, our Monday night game this week, Mike, is the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Jets because, of course, this is a primetime game. Give me the Chargers. They almost fumbled the bag against the Bears. I know I walked away because I got sick of watching football because there was a lot of football that week.
Yep.
It was an extra game, but I don't trust the Jets. They beat the Eagles, and their defense is really good. So there is a reason to pick the Jets, but not enough reason for me.
You know what? I agree. And in a way, as much as we hate injuries on the show, I'm glad that Aaron Rodgers went out when he did because
who knows what the Jets would be.
Who knows what they would be with him because right now they're standing at 4-3, and who would have thought that with a Rodgerless Jets?
With at least one victory in the AFC East because they beat us.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly. So they're one of those teams that are hard to pick against right now, but I think Hubert. That's right.
It sounded like Hubert, like the guy with the freaking the jumping guy.
That's what I said, Hubert. Hubert hasn't been himself this year either, so
he's got an injury.
Doesn't matter what the reason is. He hasn't been himself.
He's got an injury on his throwing hand.
Great. He hasn't been himself, so he's not been able to be himself.
He hasn't been himself
because of an injury. It doesn't matter. The whole point is he hasn't been himself.
For
he hasn't
the past 2 weeks, he's not been himself. But before that, he was playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league. So he can get right back to that.
And he's still only sitting at 3-4. And he's sitting at 3-4.
That's because his head coach sucks.
And you expect them to win against the Jets. So
this time, yeah.
I don't know, man. I can't pick, man. Let me flip my coin. No, that's a double-headed
one. That's a double-headed coin. You didn't bring one.
No, I didn't bring one again this week.
Here.
Shoot. Give me the...
Call it. Call laces or non-laces.
Laces, it's Jets. Okay. I guess it's non-laces, so I'm going with the Chargers.
All right. Well, guys, we want to thank you for watching our predictions here for Week 9 of the NFL season. Once again, follow us on all social medias at the KellyCast tomorrow, 7:30. Be here live for the pregame show with myself and Mike going over the inactives, the actives, game plans, keynotes, everything you need to know before the Bills and Bengals kick off. Thank you for stopping in. I'm Dan Kelly. That's Mike. We'll be seeing you next time.
Adios.
We don't do Spanish over here.